You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek. You're
Are
Are we
great.
gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm
great.
Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
Oh yeah, you're great.
You're great.
Just kidding. Welcome to the Hug Life podcast. I am Mike Ho 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 Coletta.
And I am Monica. Yay, Debbie.
All right.
It's going. I was like, what's the other Christmas jingle? That's
Sure.
better.
Could have said spin the dreidel. I don't know. Whatever
Spin
you
the
want.
dreidel.
This is the
Could have just
Hug
been
Life
like,
podcast.
I'm Monica Hanukkah Nevi.
Yeah. That's
Monica Hanukkah Nevi.
reminded me of elementary school.
When you spin a dreidel.
No, well, we did at some points, but
We did too.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Northwest thing. You got to learn all the different.
I went to elementary school in Alaska. I think it was like a big thing with it, like pushing other people's cultures. Like cultures, push them. We're Alaska.
Push up. Yeah.
Cultures, think about it. That's the name of their ad campaign. Well,
Okay,
Monica, do you want to plug
Yes.
your shows?
I do. I do want to do that. Okay. I'm going to do all of December. Is that too much?
Nope, that seems fine to me. I'm going to do it all too because
Okay. I'll
yeah.
do it really as fast as I can. This week, which it changed from Indianapolis, I'm now in St. Louis, Missouri, December 1st through the 3rd at Helium. That Helium Comedy Club. However, the 1st is a different show. It doesn't matter. Okay. Then Auburn, Washington, the 9th. I'm at a wine bar. I'm doing Trenchers in Renton on December the 13th because I hate myself. Medford, Oregon, 16 and 17, and then Cottage Grove, Oregon on the 18th. Portland, Oregon on the 21st. Kingston, Washington on the 22nd. Bremerton the 23rd. And the Secret Show this weekend on the 2nd. If you guys are around, I won't be there for it, but Mike will.
Hell yeah.
And that's it. Everything. There's a few corporates and privates scattered in there, but you're not allowed to go to those, and I'm sorry about it. All of those are on my website. Yep.
That sounds perfect.
MonicaNevy.com.
MonicaNevy.com. I'm fucking losing it. Okay. I got the Secret Show this Friday. I'll be there. I also have like a surprising number of corporate shows, which is
Good.
not normal for me.
That's
But-
great.
I have some. So my calendar seems light, but I'm actually realizing it's not, which is kind of nice. Also,
Yeah.
everything's on the weekend. So I'm like, fuck yeah. Okay. That's not my calendar. This is a book I use to keep notes on the podcast.
Okay. Well,
Fun.
you could pretend you're looking at it if you want.
I could,
Whatever
I could.
makes you feel better.
And then I'm at the Admiral Pub on Saturday the 10th, and that's gonna be a fun show. Close. Now that's a late night show. That's like a 10 o'clock-ish show.
Whoa.
Getting late on a Saturday. And then on the 17th, I am going to be in Redmond. Here's the fun part. I was looking. It's called the Pint and Pie in Redmond is where it's at. And Travis Shearer puts on the show. Nice guy,
Cool.
very funny, very
All
fun
right.
thing. So
Yeah.
I'm doing that, and that's my last show of the year, I think, honestly, because
Hey.
I'm trying to be a little more work-life balancey during the holidays, you know.
I understand. Yeah.
So those are my shows, and then there's stuff scattered in between, but you can't go to those. Monica, you know
Mhm.
all the things you can do for this podcast, starting
I
with
do.
rating, reviewing, subscribing.
Mhm.
So important. Also tell your friends about us. We don't really mention that enough.
Sure. Why not?
Then on top of that, we got ourselves a Patreon that you can join. Patreon.com/HugLifePodcast. Donate $1 a month. You get a little something on the side. That something, respect and love from us.
Respect,
And extra
yeah.
episodes.
But mostly extra episodes
That's
with all
true.
the hot goss.
All the hot goss. We've been talking to some real shit on there, and it's not going to change.
Ooh,
All right.
I do have an idea. Well, you finish up what you want, I guess.
Oh, thank you, I guess. Okay, we also have an Instagram at Hug Life Podcast. We also have our friend Danny Dodge, who's a great artist. You can go support her art at studiododge.com or at Studio Dodge on Instagram. Monica has a special on Helium Studios.
I do.
Their YouTube channel.
Yes,
Check
which
that
I
special
do.
out.
One of my lexical embraces is kind of about that, and it's all going to rope into why I almost interrupted you then. So whenever you're prepared.
Let's do lexical embraces starting now.
Okay.
You go first.
I'll go first. Okay. So this is the first, I guess the lexical embrace really is making a deal.
Ooh.
Okay. Making a deal because, so as Mike said, my special is out on Helium. It's doing well, but I think we're getting to like that little, like, it's going to peter out a little bit as far as people
Little
watching
Peter
it.
point.
Erin, my wife, has decided that if we get to 100,000 views by the end of the year, right? So basically we have December to do that. She will get a tattoo of anything that I want.
Ooh, that's a crazy deal.
Right?
It's also weird that she's gonna have my face on her at some point.
I was gonna say, Hugbugs, feel free to maybe we'll talk about that because I have a couple ideas that are, of course, inappropriate, but maybe we'll talk about that on the Patreon. But yeah, but now we have to figure out, like, obviously I'm going to tell people that that's the deal, but I got to figure out how to get to 100,000. We're about, I think it's at 69.
Yeah, nice.
Right
Why even
now.
change, honestly?
I'll go look right now just to see. But yeah, so 100,000 by the end of the year, and then she'll get whatever tattoo I want. She has a lot of tattoos, so it's not that big deal for her to get a tattoo, but for me to be able to choose what it is, that's awesome.
All right, my first lexical embrace: getting shit done while wearing your pajamas. Feels good.
I like that one.
Fucking good one, right?
Yeah, that was great.
I got a new job. I work from home. It's the shit, and I just get so much done. Not only that, like when I take a break at my new job, I just get up and I go do the dishes, and I'm wearing my pajamas. I'm getting so much shit done.
Did it take you a little bit to get used to like feeling productive in your pajamas?
No. Like it was a seamless transition. Okay, Jackie, bless her heart, my mom was like, you got to realize you're at work even though you're at home. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Mom, what do you think I'm doing all day? Just slacking around doing nothing?
I know. My parents said that when they first started working at home, they were like getting up at the same time and getting dressed and stuff. And I was like, you guys really don't have to do that. But
you guys are acting like a bunch of nerds right now.
Okay, sorry. Update on the views. We are at 68,975. So we're almost at 69.
So you need 25 more views to make a magic thing happen.
Yes, for it to be at 69. But then, we need another lot, almost 30, a little bit more than 30,000. Can we do it? Okay. Anyways, Hugbugs are the first to know. I haven't really told anybody that yet. So, but I have a second one that's kind of like yours.
You piggybacking off mine? Go for it.
Yeah, to piggyback on that. Okay, letting yourself feel good about doing something.
Ooh,
I'm really bad at that. And so yesterday I was so productive yesterday, which is why I thought about it, because I wear pajamas most of the time. Pajamas, sweatpants, really. But I did all my things I'm supposed to do. Journal, meditate. I did some running, got all my steps, and then I worked on work stuff. I was very scared to send a certain email, and then I just said, fuck it, let's do it. And I was letting myself feel good for just sending the email. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, doesn't, just the idea that it was scary and I did it anyways.
Why is there this email in my inbox that's just telling me to fuck off and die?
I was worried about it. And I finally sent it. It's been in my drafts for years. No, but I think you put a lot on it and you stress yourself out. And I mean, we talked about it a little bit with the special coming out. I actually felt relief for once, and every other project I've done, I didn't feel, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with me feeling better about the project or that email or anything that it could lead to. I was just letting myself feel good about doing it. So you feeling good that you've been productive in your pajamas, that's good. I think just feel good about it.
I checked the mail today. Also, very great time. This is a quick lexical embrace. I got a fucking class action lawsuit check in the mail out of nowhere.
Ooh,
that
actually
always
got a
feels
check?
Good. Yeah,
Nice.
$35. Not a lot. It's fucking feels good though, right?
I don't think any of them end up being
that's
very much.
That's like dinner. Okay.
Hell yeah. That makes a big difference in a working comedian's life.
It really does. I was trying to add up after I got the check, like how much I've made off of those checks in my lifetime. And it's probably creeping over $500 at this point, which feels pretty good. Because I worked for I worked for TaskRabbit, Postmates, all the ones that had really shitty laws.
Yeah.
Like when they were in the books and I was working for them. So it's all good. Okay. My last real one. Getting a recipe right on the first
Ooh.
try.
Ooh, I like that one. That's good.
I made a Weight Watchers like creamy chicken pasta dish
Ooh,
in an Instant Pot, and I was really worried I fucked it up, and it turned out great. Super
that's
easy.
great. We
Deal.
made homemade rolls for Thanksgiving, which neither of us really bake, and so we were just hoping for the best. And I will say they did not come out perfect. They were okay, but we can keep trying it again. So if they had, I think I would have gotten too cocky.
Yeah, you don't
They
want to
were
get too
fine.
cocky.
They were just dense. It was almost more of a biscuit than a roll. But
Little biscuity,
yeah.
a little minor biscuit experience.
But we did our best. So we're not to the Coletta level of one and done, but we're working on it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, my one and done was throwing shit into an Instant Pot. So it's really not that skill based. That's why people, when they're like, I can't cook, I'm like, can you read and do you own a crock pot
Can you read?
or an Instant Pot? Because guess what? You can cook, my friend.
That is funny because
I'm gonna
most
write that
things,
down, actually, because I feel like that might be fun.
You should. That is funny. Most things are just like, just pay attention. Like the only way you really super fuck up is like putting way too much of something in or letting it burn. Like it's not
Yeah.
that
Or
hard.
in the case of the Instant Pot, it like doesn't let you open it until it's done.
Nice.
So you can't undercook something.
You
It's gonna
can't fuck
just
it up.
go for it. Unless you put the time, unless you physically say,
Can you
I am going to
read?
cook this for less time than I read in the recipe.
I will say like baking's harder a little bit.
A little harder.
Certain things, especially because you got to be more precise, and depending on your personality, that can be more difficult. But honestly, cooking stuff really not that difficult.
Do you know what I loved working in special education is I did cooking class with the kids, right?
Hell yeah.
And they were so meticulous in the measurements that I'm like, all our kids are going to be dope bakers
They're gonna be
one day,
great
because they're like
bakers.
doing the thing where they like fill it up and they like scrape the extra off.
Mm.
I'm like, you're killing it, kid. You're crushing it right now.
It is funny. I used to do like cooking, whatever projects with the kids at the Boys and Girls Club, and they like were just like so jacked because they were like, we're gonna be the best cooks ever. We learned how to make guacamole, like,
We got this.
Yeah. Wait till my mom hears about this.
Oh shit, made guacamole. Okay, so I have a good news segment. Do you want to do the intro?
Yes, I would love to. Hey guys, good news.
Hi, welcome to Good News with Michaeletta.
Wow, that was a big one.
Moving so fast. World's first test run of a hydrogen jet engine, a success. So I'm sure you're aware of, they've talked about it with cars like running on hydrogen, because hydrogen, just the only thing that is left is water that comes out. Your exhaust becomes water.
Right. So the emissions part.
So their thought process is, if they do this with jets, it's going to make it so it's clean.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Right. And you can't do electric powered jets because the battery's just way too much. It doesn't work out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So the interesting part about this article is they got it to work, but on top of it working, they used green hydrogen, which is hydrogen that is made using renewable energy. So in the case of this jet engine, they tested it with hydrogen that was made in a tidal, like tides power plant, using the tide.
Wow.
Which I've heard, actually, what's weird is I just watched a video on that recently and how hard it is to do, like, because the tides are like
his Mike's a nerd if you didn't know that.
I'm a big fucking dumb nerd. Though, and I did
dumb, just a nerd.
But then I also was reading that it's kind of interesting too, because if they did hydrogen planes, it would take 4 times the amount of fuel to like move a plane. So for example, a jetliner uses 250,000 liters of jet fuel to like get their full range. If it was using hydrogen, it would take 1 million liters to do that, which is kind of crazy to think about it.
Yeah, and how do you fit, even that it's that much anyways, how do you fit it in there? That's nuts. But
it's nuts. I mean, what's crazy though is they're figuring it out, and on top of that, they think it's going to be a technology used at least in shorter flights by 2035. I was thinking
you could
like
use
domestic
it in shorter
flights.
Yeah,
because the domestic range is going to be like 1,864 miles, which
is
like very doable for most flights in the US.
That's most.
Right?
I mean, that's my flight to St. Louis is 1,700. So.
Yeah, but the important thing is making sure that you have clean hydrogen, which is what the world is really behind on, because most of the hydrogen fuel made nowadays is made using gas, and at which point, what's the fucking point?
So then it does. Yeah. This is a great news story, one for general progress, but mostly for me because the one thing I feel worst about in my footprint is flights.
Mhm.
Now I know, and I've been told many a time, commercial's not as bad, obviously, as a private plane, and that's where
private
the
jet.
real issue comes in. But I still feel bad about it a little bit. So this would really ease some of my guilt and shame.
You
So
know, that's
thank
why I
you.
did this. It was for you. It was all
Thank
for
you,
you.
science. Yeah.
That was it though.
That was a great one. Hey guys, that was good news. All right. I had an idea for a positive spin.
Positive spin me.
Okay.
Right
Positive
round.
spin your utilities. I was seeing the word in my head, and for some reason I was going to
Yeah,
pronounce
you
it wrong.
totally like had a mini stroke in
Yeah,
that
I don't know
moment.
what's happening. Paying more for your utilities. Your
Okay.
utility bill going up. Now it made me think of it because tis the holidays,
Tis the
and
season.
maybe well, first of all, it gets dark earlier, so you're going to use more light anyways.
It's
But then
scary.
you add those Christmas lights in, that electric bill can go up. Or maybe during the summer, you use more water, playing outside, watering the grass, whatever.
Classic.
Those types of things, and you get that bill, and you're like, oh fuck. Or the heat. I guess it's colder now if you get the heat, or maybe you use AC. I don't know what your climate situation is, but then you get that bill, it goes up. What's the positive of your utilities bill going up?
I think it is in all cases that you say it's going up, it is for a fun reason. Like
Yeah,
the Christmas holiday, I put my lights up way earlier than normal this year, as in Saturday after Thanksgiving. My lights were up.
nice. We had our
Feel
tree
pretty
and
proud of
everything up
myself.
before Thanksgiving, but the outside lights I have not finished
Yeah,
because we leave half of them up anyways.
hey, fuck it, it's fun. So the other thing is about the summertime, like you said, you're like, it's for happiness. It makes you happy. I know it's
splashing
not.
around.
It's hard to positive spin this because you're like, okay, we're definitely using way more energy than we need to use.
Right.
But the other side of the coin, to play devil's advocate to myself, is to have fun.
Yeah.
Make you feel
well,
good.
Okay. So then there's always this big argument, not argument. It's just very passive aggressive billboards or whatever, which I am assuming they're arguing with somebody, but I don't know who. With farmers, there's like a lot of propaganda of like them using too much water. And so, they're like, oh, so sorry we used water to grow your food.
Oh yeah. Which is bullshit because most
Is
of the food
this
they
a
grow
waste
is for
of
cattle or something
resources?
anyway.
Yeah, whatever. But it's just funny that I'm just like, what argument are you having in your head where you're like, I should put this on a billboard? But so that, with the garden stuff, it turns out sometimes to be more expensive to grow your own food than to just buy it at the damn store. But it's a good experience, and then you do get to eat it eventually.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Is it worth the extra water bill? I think maybe.
I feel weird because our cherry tomatoes this year, we grew some and some of them ripened on time, but a lot of them just didn't ripe before the first frost and they're all fucked up now. And I'm like,
No, that
bummer.
happened to me in October. They just weren't going to turn. There was a ton of them finally grew, but then they just weren't going to turn. So I ripped the whole thing out eventually. But I had similar issue. Last year was a weird time for the old garden sitch, but we got plenty of, one planter bed is just tomatoes. So we got some. So I have like, I think 3 or 4 different varieties.
So many varieties. Varietals.
Varietal.
Welcome back to David's Varietals. So for this,
yes,
this is very hard because I just used my one and only out, which is having fun. Do you have an idea of how they could be better?
I mean, I feel it more like an adult when you get a bill that is higher and you're like, okay, this sucks that I have to pay it, but I just pay it,
And you can pay it. Oh, that's
and you
a good
can
one.
pay it.
Oh, that's a really good one. Like,
right? You're like, I don't want to pay this, but I can.
Look how fucking cool I am.
Yeah, you feel responsible and stuff. Ooh, then you get to exercise, your dad voice, being like, everyone quit taking such long showers or whatever.
That is true. You can use the dad voice to be that guy that like gets on top of it.
Turn off the heater.
I had another random lexical embrace that I just thought
Go
of.
for it. Toss it in there.
Because of my new job, I just got the rare and elusive double paycheck from my old job and from my new job.
Hey,
And it made me
Fun.
It's fucking great. But also, and being an adult, I threw it in my savings account because I'm an adult, right?
Look at you.
Thank you.
Showing off now. Paying
But
your
then
utility bills and saving.
it
What?
made me think about the funny thing online that you see about all these techie people taking work from home jobs, but multiple work from home jobs without telling people. Have you seen this?
No.
So it's this guy who's like, I currently have 10 work from home jobs.
10?
And he had like monitors all over
Just
his
working at the
desk,
same time, though.
working at the same time. And he's like, because realistically, I figured it out. There's only about like an hour or two of work in here total a
And
day.
people are worried about immigrants taking their job.
I know, but
it's
then I
just
was like,
one dude that's
for
taking
s-
them all.
it's just Bill who got his fucking coding degree from somewhere and is like gaming the system. Like, good for him though.
Wow,
Honestly,
that seems like a lot of work, but really, have you ever watched people work from home? I mean, I know now you're watching yourself, but you still have a newer job. They're not really doing much
yeah,
for a lot of it.
honestly,
So if you did multiple at the same time, it might actually equal going into an office.
I think about it a lot because my job, I'm taking calls, right? A lot. I'm just on the
Okay.
phone a lot during the day.
Yeah.
And so I am doing something. But if you're like not on the phone, you really do have a lot of
You can
time
just
to
fuck
potential
off
fuck
if you
off
want
time.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if
I
you're
mean,
salaried, oh my God.
yeah, you
Just
just
fucking
wouldn't.
walk away from your desk.
Because Erin works from home and she's like doing shit all the time. And I'm like, what if you just didn't? And she's like, well, they wouldn't know, but then I wouldn't get it as much done. And I'm like, yeah, you set the bar too high for yourself. Here,
Yeah.
stop doing shit.
No, I think about that a
Come
lot.
hang
But
out with me.
for some jobs, I remember there was a thing because we put a lot of stories up before about good news about like lexical embrace for 4-day work weeks. People being
Yeah.
like, and I know a lot of places are trying it now. And I'm like, I
You
fucking
just
get
get
it.
another job on that other
You
day.
just get another job on the other day. But I was thinking about that the other day, like recently, though. I'm like, what if I had that like extra money all the time? Because I'm kind of
Yeah.
wondering. So, and this is, I feel like I could talk about this because I don't work there anymore. But the school sometimes like is delayed with your pay. So I'm like, am I going to
Really?
get a second work from home
Oh, I see.
double paycheck? Because I got a pretty big paycheck, like bigger than I normally get.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm realizing that's only technically the second month I've been paid because of like the new school year and stuff or whatever. So I'm like, does that mean I'm gonna get another paycheck at the end of December? Because that would be fucking sick,
Yeah. I considered the other day, there's a bowling alley near us that is, family owned, it's cute, small, whatever. So we've been trying to go there a bit more. And they're hiring a part-time / on-call person. And obviously it would have to be pretty flexible, but part of me was like, what if I just work at a bowling alley sometimes?
Honestly,
not because I need it, but just because that would be
it's something to do.
Fun.
It's like a hobby.
To do. Yeah. Because it's like an old person working. I feel like that's what my life is sometimes. It's like, what do old people do during the day? Because I do most of those same things. When I'm working out, it's usually with old people. Then I'm at a coffee shop with old people. It's like, I go grocery shopping when the old people go grocery shopping. So I might as well be an old lady that works at a bowling alley.
I kind of love this for you. Honestly.
I kind of like it too. I don't, because with comedy, there's this part of you that almost feels there's like a guilt or a shame that comes with getting a day job.
Oh, I'm living it right now. Yes.
I know, but I don't feel like that's necessary. But
No, it's not
also, so there's a
necessary.
part of that where I'm like, do I want to do this because of the shame it brings for some reason? But I know that it's not that I have to. It would just, one, it's nice to have extra money when your utilities go up or whatever. But also, it does give you something to do that's not stressing out about my actual career. And I like bowling. And it would probably save us money, my family. We could bowl for free.
That is true. That
enough
is the
of a
dream.
perk right there. Yeah.
That is the dream. I mean,
but because I have to parent and then I travel, like I don't know if it'll work out, but I'm thinking I should maybe just. There's another, okay, if we're being super positive about the situation, they're a family-owned business, they happen to live across the street from some of our friends here in Tacoma. What if I get this part-time job, right? They love me. And then when they are done owning the business, then my family takes it over, which I do think is our destiny. The Nevi destiny is to own a bowling alley eventually.
You really are going down the dream rabbit hole with this.
It really is.
And
it's a small, I think there's only like
huge fan.
16 lanes or something.
Well,
some bowling alleys like 100 lanes. This is like 16. Like it's small. But
every comedian and person has that weird dream where you're like, what I'm doing if I wasn't a comedian. Mine obviously is to own a chicken wing restaurant. We've all talked about it.
Yeah.
But like what we don't realize is it's actually attainable to do and still be a comedian. That's the dumb part about our
Yeah, that
brains
is an
is you think you
interesting part.
have to do the only thing.
Yeah.
Like when I went to therapy in LA when I was super depressed and having a really hard time right before I left,
Mhm.
the lady I was talking to was like, you keep thinking that you can only be this or that when you can
Or be
do both.
one way of that. Yeah.
Exactly. You have to quit comedy or stay
Right.
and keep it. I'm like that. Yeah, you're right. That's fucking dumb to think, which is why now I'm like, I am the least stressed I've been in a long time because I have a
Yeah.
day job
Mhm.
and I can still do comedy. And now that I work from
One
home, I'm way more willing to
I
leave
was
my
gonna
house
say
because the
now it's
school
a
doesn't kill me like it did
better
before.
day job situation for you too. But yeah, I think was listening to Gabriel Rutledge's podcast.
Gabby?
Yes. When he was kind of talking about the same thing, because he's been traveling a lot too, he said he was fantasizing about having time off and how comedians, you can't really take time off. And he was making a joke about like his fantasy is to like clock in and out somewhere and that kind of thing. Not enough to do it, but that's like, then he could just go home at 5 and be home. And that's what his wife wants, but you do think about those things the more you do stand up. And it does sound like stupid because you're like, well, then just quit. But you also don't want to do that. It's really a confusing situation. So then if you could balance it, that might be the ideal situation. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. What I'm saying is I support the Nevy Bowling Alley.
Okay.
Would you have an arcade in the Nevy Bowling Alley?
I mean, if we had the space, this current situation, if we did acquire this particular bowling alley, it's not big enough for that. But if we did have the space, yeah, of course.
You know what's a very lucrative business for a bowling alley? Having an ATM that you run inside of it.
Ooh, yeah. I want pull tabs.
Oh, and fucking pull tabs.
Fucking pull
100%.
tabs. My grandparents, my parents, it was like we make jokes about like bowling alley people. But that's like Friday nights, my parents would go to the bowling alley. They had a daycare thing in the bowling alley that I would go to. They would play color pin. If you don't know what color pin is, they mix in some colored pins in the racks, and then when they come up, each one is like a different thing. So if the head pin was a colored pin, then that would be worth $20 if you got the strike, stuff like that. So then it's like like you're gambling, but you're bowling. And then people were smoking inside, playing pull tabs. There's a bar. This particular bowling alley we used to go to was huge, and so it had a restaurant and a bar, and then there wasn't like slot machines, but there was like a whole pull tab casino area, that was like huge. And then lockers where people could keep their bowling balls in there all the time.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a serious place. But so there's so many ways I just think the overhead there is pretty low. We've done research about that because the pins and the balls wear out, but not very fast, stuff like that. Yeah, the restaurant part is always but then yeah, you're like serving beer. That's where people make most money, right? Food and drink.
That's the key.
I don't see we could fill half a rack of house balls with just all of the bowling balls that we have. So
That's true.
that's easy.
Honestly, I still think about the strip club bowling alley.
Yes,
And
that would
strip
be
club mini
great.
golf. I think
And
about that.
putt-putt, yeah. We could do a strip night,
Yeah,
have strippers in the middle, because they do
with
like the
little,
glow bowling or whatever.
lanes between
yeah,
the lanes,
in
you have the
between
little thing and they're
the little
dancing.
pole right there. Yeah.
That's perfect. Nails it.
Yeah.
Nails it.
Nails it. Andy nails it.
I'm gonna write nails it as the title of this podcast, so I hope that's okay with
I think that's so funny. Have you ever seen Chelsea Peretti's special on Netflix? Which I don't think it's on there anymore, which is really sad to me. But
no, because I
one
tried
of the
to watch
greats
it and it was gone
recently. Yeah, it's gone. I was trying to show it to Erin and it was gone, and I was pissed. But she does a bit about wanting to be a florist, and as she's talking about it, she's like, "This is making me so calm right now. Like I don't like it's making because she does this really long like." I'd have these bracelets and just, let me put some baby's breath in there, whatever. And when she's talking about it, she keeps being like, seriously, this is making me feel so good. I should do this all the time. That's what this bowling alley conversation is doing for me right now.
So before I started
I'm
comedy,
excited about it.
That's good. See, before I started comedy, me and my two friends from high school were going to make a comic book shop right out of college. And I was the first to leave. But I had the same kind of feeling where it was like, because we realized it's not sustainable with 3 people. Okay, it's not sustainable with 2 people. and now only one of us is doing it. And he did
Got
it,
it.
and it worked out fun. And I was so
did it.
jealous because
He actually stuck with
he
it.
did it, and it worked, and he made money because he started selling magic cards. Spoilers,
Oh,
that's making the most
smart,
money.
smart. Yeah.
But then he sold the business to some fucking rich kids who then drove it into the ground. But what I love is I'm like, like you had the dream and it felt good. And even if you're planning it, you're always planning something. You got to
There's
have a hustle.
something about what do they say? Like you actually feel better when you're planning a trip than actually being on the vacation. It's like that. So even just being excited about it is probably good for you. But I would, I like to follow through. It usually takes me a while, but I like to follow through.
Well, I love it. Well, we got a little off topic, but I'm happy with how this episode turned out.
So the utility bill at the bowling alley might go up, but that's okay.
But that's fun because you're still living the dream.
Because you're still living the Nevi dream of having a bowling alley.
Was there anything you want to say to the listener before we go?
Oh, I love you so much.